Yo, 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 people and patrons of the night. It is your boy, BD. I am the host of the Horror Tavern, and today I got an interesting discussion video out there for all of you fellow Goosebumpers. This is a video directed towards that fandom because I am a Goosebumps fan as well. I've been one since I was a kid. I was a huge fan of the TV show. I read a few of the books, but I mostly got into the books later now that I'm doing reviews, and that's what inspired me to talk about this in addition to a topic that was brought up on the Goose Junkies podcast that I'm a part of. On the Goose Junkies podcast, we had covered the trilogy of Goosebumps TV show episodes to their book counterparts that JonTron had covered many years ago when he came out with his very popular coverage, Goosebumps Part 1 and Goosebumps Part 2, where he reviewed Ghost Beach, My Hairiest Adventure, and Don't Go to Sleep's episode, which each of those videos, I believe, got 12 to 13 million views, so arguably some of the most famous Goosebumps coverage out there from a YouTuber. So I decided, you know what, this topic was brought up towards the end of our last, or I should say latest episode, so I thought I might as well make kind of like a overview video of my thoughts in this discussion piece, which is, was JonTron correct about the Goosebumps TV show? This is sort of a debated topic in a sense because there has always been parts of the fandom that love the TV show, but then there's also been people who they like the TV show, but they've always preferred the books. They think that the books are the better version of the media because obviously R.L. Stine is the main author. He's the one, for the most part, that's coming up with the ideas, the main body of it. That's the original source material, and the TV show has to do its best to adapt that material. So people have had mixed thoughts. You got people who prefer the TV show, you got people who love the books more, and you got people who like both. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And to start off, JonTron is one of my favorite YouTubers because he's actually one of the guys who inspired me to get into YouTube. He's one of the funniest YouTubers out there. The level of quality and attention that this guy puts into his skits is very much shown. He always goes the extra mile into putting time, effort, and money and production quality into the in-between skits he does for each of his review videos and even his newer videos. So I've always appreciated that. I always like that type of review where you got clips in between your commentary or you got skits in between your commentary. So from a technical level and just from a comedic level, JonTron is an absolute legend. The dude is one of the GOATs in terms of YouTube, so I respect him heavy. But over time, as I've experienced more of Goosebumps media, I've read more of the books, and I've watched more of the TV show, I've sort of had differing opinions to JonTron's takes in his videos, where I love them from an entertainment standpoint and what they were for the Goosebumps community, but I can see that they had some negative aspects to it as well. So again, this is not downplaying JonTron. He's always entitled to his own opinion, but it's more so the sway that he's had within each of the fandoms due to the influence of the videos is more so what I'm addressing, because with his Goosebumps coverage videos, he talked about a lot of things, basically how the TV show, while it did have its highs, like he highlights the haunted mask, the TV show had a lot of rough points in it. It had a lot of moments of bad acting. It had a lot of moments of poor production quality and other stuff. And there was a lot of times where it felt like the writers didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And it felt like poor adaptations of the books, which he says the books are basically the better material, that Stine is the one putting in the effort and he has very memorable books, which are still holding up quite well until the modern age, which I do agree with. The Goosebumps books hold up quite well into the modern age. And he talked about kind of how he has a preference for the books and that the show sort of did inadequate jobs with adapting the source material, which that I actually kind of disagree with, because I do feel that there are definitely a lot of points where the books are better than the episodes. I mean, I've talked about some of those things in terms of my reviews. There's a lot of great books out there. The Haunted Mask book out there is amazing. The Welcome to Dead House book, for example, I have above the episode. Werewolf Skin, obviously, I have the book above the episode. So there's definitely pieces out there where I think the books are better than the episodes. And even the episodes that he covered, for the most part, all three of them, I think that the book is better. So I agree with them there that the book is better in these cases. Don't Go to Sleep's book is better than the episode. Same goes for Ghost Beach, and same goes for My Hairiest Adventure. But A lot of people had gotten perception that these were some of the worst episodes in the TV show and that the TV show was inferior to the books because it's adapting Stein's, amazing book material. And I actually disagree with that. I would say that people, a lot of the times I've seen, at certain points discredit how influential the TV show was, thanks to Dan Angel, Billy Brown, and Neil Shusterman. These guys as writers, directors, producers, they all did a fantastic job. And you'll see sometimes people shit on the TV show for certain things, but the TV show, despite the moments of bad acting, despite the moments of poor writing at times, yes, poor budget at times, yes, it did valiant efforts sometimes at trying to clean up the books, even if they fell short. And you had a lot of moments where the episodes were actually better than the books. For example, he brought up The Haunted Mask as one of the star episodes in the show, which is very much true. The Haunted Mask is pretty much, I would say, equal quality to the book. They're on similar tiers. They're pretty much faithful to each other aside from a few changes. And a lot of people kind of hold them to the same regard. But despite that, a lot of people tie Catherine Long to being Carly Beth. So the TV show's episode actually brought more life into the book because, yes, Carly Beth is a relatable character in the book, of course, one of the best main characters, protagonists in Goosebumps. But Catherine Long's performance of Carly Beth in the first Haunted Mask episode 2 part of the first episode of the show, that's what people associate with. A lot of people associate Catherine Long's great performance with being the character of Carly Beth. When you think of Carly Beth, you think of Catherine Long, you think of the TV show version more times than not. So that shows that the episode did have a little bit of an edge over the book in that case. And then JonTron showed the VHS tape for the Haunted Mask, which again, like the Haunted Mask 2 cover is on that. But he shows footage from the Haunted Mask 2 episode and says that this episode captures the good qualities of the book, but that's flat out wrong. The episode of the Haunted Mask 2 is completely different to the book. The book is good, but it's disappointing as a sequel compared to the first book. But the Haunted Mask 2's episode is perfecto. Muy bien, muy bien. It's fantastic, bro. The Haunted Mask 2's episode is perfection because it perfectly ties in the episode's plot of the Haunted Mask 1 episode into the sequel. They combine plot lines, they add a lot more layers. Steve's suffering in the old man mask is way more inside of that episode. And they add the shopkeeper possessed by the Haunted Mask into the episode that's not in the book at all. And the way that the Haunted Mask possessed shopkeeper tortures Steve, blackmails Steve to go against Carly Beth and all this crazy ass shit, and the way that they merge together at the end to kind of defeat the Haunted Mask and how it may come back, that was all very much unique specifically to the episode. So the episode was, in my opinion, grades better, like a few grades better than the book, where the book sort of fell short. It was disappointing with some of the goofy stuff involving like the dancing haunted mask at the end of it. And it didn't really capture the Halloween spirit as good as the episode did. It didn't capture Steve's suffering as well as the episode does. It added a new villain, new layers to it, and implemented Carly Beth in the ending better. So that stuff was all handled better in the episode. And you got to give credit to the writers of the show for that. So that was a moment where the TV show did way better than the book, where it felt like Stein sort of disappointed us. Now the episode is the big, crescendo, the real Haunted Mask 2. And people forget that the Haunted Mask 2 was a disliked book. A lot of people used to kind of shit on the book a lot more back in the day. Now people are loving the Haunted Mask 2 book more. They're coming around to basically giving it more positive reception. But then you hear about them talking about the book, and it's oftentimes you catch them caught slipping, where they'll talk about things that are not in the book. They're actually in the episode. So that actually proves the fact that the episode is so goddamn good. The episode is so muy bien that people are mistaking what R.L. Stein wrote for what's in the episode. Nah, that credit goes to the episode. That's the genius of the TV show writers. That's all their credit, their talent. None of that is in relationship to Stein. Now, Stein gave a blueprint, yeah, but they took their own liberty with it. They made it way better. So you got to give credit to the TV show there. So when, and there's other examples of that too. Like, Werewolf of Fever Swamp is much better than I wouldn't say much better, but it's definitely better than the book. The TV show episode of Werewolf of Fever Swamp is like a miniature movie. They add layers to the hermit. The hermit's got a whole backstory and lore where the werewolf killed his wife and kids, so he actually gets humanized. He actually has a reason why he hates the werewolf disease. Even the main villain, the werewolf reveal, they have a point where they're basically telling Grady, yo, get away, escape while you can, I can't control it any longer. So instead of the book where they're much more, just sort of villainous and malice. No, in the episode, they're actually suffering. They're actually dealing with some crazy shit going on, and they have to try to protect the people that they like, even though they're not in control. And the scene of the werewolf with its snout up against the camera behind the shadows, it's just the whole body's behind shadows, the snout's in the light, and it's snarling and growling. The chase scene of the sister across the house and the barn attack scene. The barn attack scene is metal, bro. It is vicious, it is violent, it is terrifying. They all added that stuff in the episode, which is not in the book. Night Living Dummy 3's episode. People say, oh, the book has multiple dummies. That book is overrated. That book is literally a carbon copy of the first book, and the multiple dummies don't appear except for the end of the book for half a page. They appear for half a page, and all they do is tug on Slappy's wood. Take that how you will, people. But all they do is tug on Slappy's wood for half a page at the end of the book. No, in the episode, Rocky is an alive member, an integral part. The whole idea of Zane getting turned into a dummy, that's strictly in the episode. And it was so good in the episode that it carried over into the new Disney show. So, and Slappy's dialogue with him being thrown down the well and coming back and being like, there's a frog in my throat, like that type of shit, that's all within the episode. That's all the beauty of the episode. And Slappy fighting against Rocky at the end, Rocky getting a Chad Thundercock moment, and then Slappy getting struck by lightning in this grand crescendo ending, that's all within the episode. That's all given to them, specifically to Neil Shusterman, because he was the head writer of that episode. Same with Fever Swamp. So that's the talent of the writers. They are very talented when it comes to improving the plots of the books, so you got to give credit to the TV show there. And specifically for JonTron, you couldn't only tell that he had a book bias, but also when he covered Are You Afraid of the Dark, he said Are You Afraid of the Dark was a spookier show for the most part. And when he covered Are You Afraid of the Dark, he didn't choose the 3 worst Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes like he did with Goosebumps. No. He chose the first 3 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was Tale of the Phantom Cab, Tale of the Laughing in the Dark, and then Tale of the Dark Music. Laughing in the Dark is a mascot episode. A lot of people associate Zebo with the show, and Dark Music is considered a highly rated episode. He even says this is considered one of the spookiest episodes in the show. So he automatically had bias. He took a biased approach to covering Dark to make it look better, and then he didn't give that justice to Goosebumps. Because if he chose the first 3 episodes of Goosebumps, it would have been The Haunted Mask, landslide victory. It would have been The Girl Who Cried Monster, sweep, and it would have been Cuckoo Clock of Doom, which I think Cuckoo Clock of Doom is more average. I like the book better, but it's still a good episode for the most part, so that's still pretty good. It's a little bit better than I would say Laughing in the Dark, or at least if you want to argue on the same tier as that. So you got to give credit where credit is due, and he didn't give credit with the way that he covered it. Was it entertaining? Hell yeah, it was funny as fuck, and it's great content. But in terms of perception of the fans, people sometimes, I think, took that too much to heart, where they think that Are You Afraid of the Dark is the spookier, superior show, where, yeah, sometimes it had that, but a lot of people don't want to acknowledge this. 80% of Are You Afraid of the Dark is corny, Disney, bullshit-ass episodes that are so fucking forgettable that you could literally binge them and watch them 2 times. You'll still forget the plots. There's so much corny shit in them sometimes. There's poor special effects, poor writing, what the fuck plot. There's plenty of episodes that I've seen in Are You Afraid of the Dark that are fucking not good, bro. Even the mid ones like Long Ago Locket, fucking Unexpected Visitors, like those are all meh episodes, boring episodes. The Tale of the Lonely Ghost, another meh episode. There's a bunch of ones. And there's a bunch of ones with crazy ass plots, weird ass plots that are even weirder than Goosebumps, like Tale of the Chameleons. Or Tale of that one with the mirrors and shit, where the mirrors kept the guy young. There's all that crazy shit going on. And if he was being fair, if he wanted to cover the 3 worst episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, Are You Afraid of the Dark's worst episodes are the lowest of low doo-doo Hall of Dookie fame episodes in kids horror, like Tale of the Gruesome Gourmets, Tale of the Virtual Pets, Misfortune Cookie, Manaha, all those shits, Hungry Hounds. Those are all dog shit episodes that are so fucking bad that you'll watch them and be like, who the fuck was cooking with this shit? This is not cooking, bro. This is burning down the crib, bro. The Canada wildfires were started by reruns of these episodes. Yo, there was a dude in his crib with some VHS tapes playing, you know, all these old school, old ass episodes, or maybe he bootlegged Hungry Hounds and Virtual Pets. He played that shit. His TV exploded, and that's what led to the Canada wildfires. So all your canceled United Airlines flights, you got to give credit to these shit ass episodes. They're so fucking bad, and they're so much worse than the lowest points in Goosebumps, because the lowest episodes in Goosebumps, I would say, is like Strained Peas, Teacher's Pet, you know, Deep Troubles episode, that kind of stuff. Harry's Adventure, yeah. Ghost Beach just for the acting wise, but the lowest points of Are You Afraid of the Dark are way more worse. He should have watched those and roasted them, and he would have been like, okay, yeah, these got some low points. And yeah, there's episodes in Are You Afraid of the Dark that are spookier, you know, but there's a lot of points where it's just absolutely mid, just absolutely dog shit boring, and the lowest parts of it are just a fucking snooze fest. So that's sort of my thoughts about it in terms of the way he covered his videos. It's still funny. His videos are hilarious, but I felt like he sort of sold the TV show short, and I feel like a lot of people out there should watch these episodes for themselves. You guys should actually watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, you know, all the different seasons of it, and you should watch all of Goosebumps and then see how you feel about it. Because me, I didn't grow up with Are You Afraid of the Dark, so I'm watching all the episodes for the first time. I grew up with the Goosebumps TV show, but I didn't touch it for over a decade, for more than a decade, so I'm rewatching all of those for this channel as an adult. So I'm experiencing both of those at the same time, and Goosebumps is a superior TV show to me. It's got better writing. It's got better episodes for the most part. They're much more memorable than Are You Afraid of the Dark? And yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark's highest points like Tale of the Night Shift, Tale of the Secret Admirer, Tale of the Dead Man's Float, you know, Tale of the Water Demons, all this stuff, Tale of the Curious Camera. Those high points are extremely well done, and those rival some of the best Goosebumps episodes. But I still got Haunted Mask 2, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Night Living Dummy, you know, even Terror Tower and those stuff. I got those episodes, and even Dead House. I got those episodes better than a lot of the high points in Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I tell all the fans out there of kids horror, fans of Are You Afraid of the Dark, fans of Goosebumps, please go experience the media yourselves. Actually check it out for your own opinion and formulate your own opinion and thoughts. Because I think if you're a big Goosebumps fan and you read the books and you watch the episodes, you will appreciate the episodes a lot more. And with Are You Afraid of the Dark, if you're watching that at the same time as watching the Goosebumps TV show, you're going to see quality differences in 80% of the shows. So again, be out there, form your own opinions, lead your own wave. But, you know, as much as I love JonTron's videos and as much as he's hilarious and I absolutely love him as a content producer and his stuff was still positive for the community because it was hilarious, I do have to disagree with his takes because I think that it's a little bit disrespectful to say that the show is ran by baboons when there's plenty of times that the Goosebumps TV show has had wonderful writing, wonderful direction, and has tried to improve the books. Even when it fails, it tries to make more concise stories. It tries to make otherworld versions of the stories, and sometimes it just makes flat-out superior stories as a whole. And that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion piece. If you did, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that like button if you're a fan of JonTron shit. Go check out his videos. They're hilarious. And then come back to me and hit my subscribe button because shameless self-promotion. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with JonTron? Do you disagree with them? How do you feel about his videos? Do you think that they're hilarious as well? And what are your thoughts in terms of the Goosebumps TV show versus the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV show? But that's all I got for today. If you guys enjoyed, again, subscribe and like. It's a free way to rate the video, free way to support me, lets me know what you guys like, and keeps the content pumping out there. And yeah, stay tuned until next time. Deuces.